So I would like to listen to each one of you. What is the significance of Navaratri? Why we celebrate Navaratri? What is the use of this? What is this festival for? So let each one of us share our views before we take up our Gita contemplation today. Who would like to go first? What is Navaratri and why do we celebrate Navaratri? What is the significance of that for your life? I hope all of us celebrate Navaratri, no? Here? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so just to share your view, your understanding. It can be, the custom. See, a festival has multiple layers. There are customs, then there are various kinds of, let's say, traditions in your particular family. And then there is also clarity about, the spiritual clarity. So each layer is important. It is not that, only the spiritual clarity is important. Each layer, it's a holistic system. So therefore, each of your view is equally valid.
Sure, I'll go first.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so Navaratri is essentially the 9 nights where Ma Durga is vanquishing many demons, and we celebrate her various forms in the 9 days. Some are little bit aggressive, I should say, or maybe aggressive is not a right word. Maybe some are where she's more like a warrior, and others are where she's very, calm and peaceful of all these 9 days. So at my place, we have a tradition of keeping those dolls. So essentially, So in that also, there is a theory, like, for example, the steps, if we have how many ever number of steps you have, it essentially... Sorry, sir.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah. So essentially, for us, if I keep suppose 5 steps, so the topmost steps belongs to the 3 Durgas, that is Durga, Lakshmi, and Saraswati, with Ganesha, and that is how it starts from the highest, and then as we go down stepwise below. So the next must be some Dashavatar or various avatars that has happened, or scenes from Ramayana, or Krishna's life, or things like that. It goes like that. And then after that, once that is done, then we go to the other life forms. Say we go down to sages, 1 row of sages, and everybody, we can keep like that, Adi Shankaracharya or Sai Baba, or any other great saints and men of our times. And then after that comes the level of say you can have human beings, or various animals, birds, all that are currently present in the living existent forms. And then you can also keep the things that we use. For example, you can keep things we use in the house, like there are some people who keep some old traditional brass vessels and all, small. So ideally, how I see that 9 steps or 7 steps, or how many ever steps you keep, is it is in the form of how the world has evolved, and also where we have to head. Like we are in the bottommost step right now, so we have to raise ourselves higher and higher spiritually, and get to the topmost layer, where it's such a pure form. And also I believe that when we say that she is, in various cultures, she's celebrated as somebody who's vanquishing all the demons. So I think it is essentially purification of our own self. We have many such demons inside us, in the form of jealousy, anger, and lot of negativity. So it is essentially cleansing all those things in these 9 days. So and she has done I mean, one of the stories goes by, she sits on a tip of the needle, and she is meditating to get those powers to destroy those demons. So essentially this time is for us to contemplate on our going inner into ourselves, and looking at how we can vanquish all these negative things within us, and get some peace and quiet, and be calm and blissful, and uh, things like that. That's how I feel it. Also, we celebrate by giving in our house we have a tradition where we call very young girls, 7 or 9 of them, and offer them some things. So essentially we look at them as small devis only, that they are coming to our home to receive something, because she is someone who has been giving us whatever we have. So this is a time to also give back a little bit of that, so our gratitude. So that is another way. And also I have noticed that during this time, even people who consume non-vegetarian do not consume that for the 9 days. Many of my friends I have seen in various other cultures. So I feel that it is basically going from every aspect, right from food to thoughts to everything. You are becoming more and more sattvic and cleansing yourself, is how I see it. Yes, and that is what Navaratri means to me, sir. Yeah.
Excellent. Very nice. Very nice. Thank you, Padmaji. Shubhaji?
I think she has covered everything, sir.
Yeah, so what else would you like to add?
It's everything is what she said is absolutely correct. It is literally the slaying of our ignorance during this time.
Very
And,
nice.
Ma Durga is energy aspect, so Shakti. So it's innumerable energy. So that energy, we should use it in the right way, is what I feel.
Very nice. It's an infinite energy and it has to be
Yes.
channeled in the right direction. Okay.
Yeah. Prabhuji talks about the 9, no? It's infinite.
Yeah.
So that infinite number of times we need to what is that? We need to slay our ignorance.
Wonderful. So Navaratri is to basically transform by slaying our ignorance. Any other tradition in your place which is let's say distinct?
No, sir. No, I don't keep Golu.
Okay.
The usual, I recite the Lalita Sahasranama and Lakshmi Shobhani.
Lakshmi Shobhani.
Yeah.
Very nice. Wonderful. Thank you, Shubhaji. Thank you. Very nice.
Yeah, thank you.
How about Asha ji?
Actually, Navratri, like as Padmaji said, it is a festival where we celebrate all the 9 days. It is full of auspiciousness. It brings so much of auspiciousness, and it brings all the family members together. One thing, and in this way, like basically, it is more of it gives a message saying that so we have to look inside, like more of getting towards sattvic, from I mean getting away from all our whatever the tamasic gunas we have. So maybe this festival helps us to cleanse us and make us better. So
very nice. So better, but when you use the word better, can you have can you bring some clarity? What do you mean by better?
Yeah, the thing is like, however, whatever affirmations, like personally, what I feel is, though I make some affirmations towards getting better, like maybe say suppose getting rid of anger. So sometimes I just I forget that and I just keep repeating things. So this time I'm just working on it. So maybe I have to give up all those. Basically, I'm working on my anger. So that is how I'm just taking this Navratri.
Excellent, Ashaji. Excellent. Very nice. Very nice. So each one of us have to recognize and see how to overcome that. Very well put. Ashwini ji.
I think most of the matter is covered by Padmaji and Ashaji. I think it's related worshipping of Ma Shakti, Universal Mother, during all 9 nights. And the message given by Navratri is we should apply. I mean, we should apply so that the message of uh, winning over demons is like we should get rid of the evil thoughts in our mind, and we should conquer that and move ahead towards towards a good thoughts, good karmas and all that, and go upwards.
Very nice. How about tradition in your place? Is it any different? Do you also have this tradition of keeping dolls?
We have a tradition of in Maharashtra, Ghatastapana is done. Ghatastapana is it's a mud clay pot kept near to the puja, and the pot is decorated with that haldi and kumkum. Over that, either mango leaves or the pan वो खाते हैं ना वो leaves रखते हैं उसके
Yeah.
ऊपर,
Hmm.
and the ghat is decorated. Every day a new flower garland is offered to the ghata. The ghata is surrounded by the soil and where we put some seeds. So during the pot is full of water. We pour water in the pot before making puja, and the soil around the pot we put seeds also. So during 9 days the seeds grow, and the message is message of this Ghatastapana is puja, and it's so it's kind of harvesting, not harvesting, it's a kind of message given that, I mean, the soil, the seeds are grown, so we should grow like that in our life also.
Excellent. What kind of thoughts we put, those kind of thoughts grow in us.
Yeah. And
Very
during days of every day a new garland is offered to the ghata, and on the Dashera the puja is over.
Okay. Wow, wonderful. I didn't know about this tradition.
All over Maharashtra this is followed.
This is the tradition, is it? Ghatastapana.
Yes.
Okay. And the different flowers on every day, is there a color pattern to it, or just any different flowers?
Nowadays there are yellow flowers. The name in Maharashtra is called as Karalachi Fula, Karala flower. Specific flowers are offered to the ghata, but if those are not available, we can use any yellow kind of flowers for offering.
Oh, every day it is yellow color. Isn't it that, day by day different colors are offered?
No. Traditionally, yellow color, that Kerala flowers is offered to the ghata.
Okay.
But not available, yellow color. If it is not that, so you can use any kind of flower.
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice, Ashwini ji. Thank you. Shilpa Kala ji.
So so all the points have been covered. So I don't want to add more to this. But Ratri is like the day is full of chaos, and we are busy with our daily work. Night is the time when you're rested, and it's a time to look inwards. So Navratri I understand basically is during those 9 nights, like we know people fast, like how Padmaji mentioned, people have sattvic food, they give up non-vegetarian food. So during that time, it's the 9 nights. Night signifies is when, you look inwards. And of course, the various forms of goddesses are worshipped during the 9 nights. Each day has a color, which we ladies like to dress up. Even the men like to follow the color pattern. So
Wonderful.
that's all I can add to.
Very nice. So night is about cleansing. Night is about contemplation. Excellent. And also deep rest. But any view on why different forms of Devi? Shilpakalaji, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, that's what I was thinking on the question you asked me.
Okay.
Different forms of Devi. So each form of the goddess represents something. So so that is what leads us to come over our overcome our whatever negativities which we have, to cleanse them off, or at least try to.
Excellent. That's right.
Overcome those.
Very nice, Shilpakalaji. Thank you. Very nice.
Thank you, sir.
Saravananji?
Yeah, much more simpler. So other than visiting temples and making special prayers at home, I have not gone deeper into the festival part.
Okay.
Yeah.
But your view on what may be the significance of the festival?
It's about the evil powers being overcome by the Supreme.
Yeah.
So that basically gives that feel of security to the devotees, and continue with bhakti.
Wonderful.
And not have any fear. Yeah.
Not have any fear. Excellent. Very nice, Saravananji. Very nice. Okay, just a few more views. All of you said it already, that it's a slaying of our own ignorance. So Ma Durga represents the Divine Mother. So the existence is combination of Divine Father and Divine Mother. Our biological mother and father are there, but the Divine Father and Mother is Shiva and Shakti. The consciousness aspect is Shiva, and the energy aspect, the movement aspect is Shakti. So this Divine Mother, it exhibits in life in so many varieties. So that's why 9, which is infinite, it's so many varieties. So the varieties of life is innumerable, beyond comprehension. So infinite cannot be represented, actually, cannot be thought about. But 9 is a symbol for that, towards that. Because any multiplication of 9 yields 9 only. So it's an infinite combination. So for example, you all know 9 3s are 27. 2 plus 7 is 9 only. So like that, any combination of 9 is 9 only. Which means to say that this existence, the form and the names, that is infinite varieties. So it continues. So the divine motherly aspect of this existence is an infinite variation. There is no restriction. This is how it has to be. So that existence exhibits in so many ways and forms. So the killing of Mahishasura is the main story that we all know. Mahisha is represented as a buffalo. So totally tamasic guna. Buffalo is eat, sleep, and just eat and sleep. All right. So that kind of attitude of life, not waking up to the existential realities. So that buffalo nature in us, that Mahisha in us, has to be transformed. And that Mahisha has to be transformed into its innate nature of completeness. Because that Mahisha is interested in eating and sleeping because that Mahisha has become separate from the totality. That Mahisha thinks, I am different, I am separate, I am this, I am that. So all that separateness within us is represented as Mahisha. That separateness is what can also be called as the ego. And that is the fundamental ignorance in our mind. And actually, therefore, Navaratri actually begins with Mahalaya Amavasya and ends with Vijayadashami. So Amavasya means dark night. Dark night is a representation of the ignorance. Then Mahalaya means total destruction. So during the Navaratri time, the universe is cooperating for our inner journey. It is like, for example, when you're sitting for meditation, if let's say for that 20 minutes, if let's say your people in the home say, don't worry, you sit in meditation. If anybody comes, we will take care. Your mind will be that much more relaxed. You'll be able to focus on, let's say, your meditation. Likewise, during the Navaratri time, in the nature, there are various subtle energies which help our inner journey. So actually, Navaratri begins with the previous day, Mahalaya Amavasya. And that is why most in many families, there is also the tradition of Pitru Paksha, offering gratitude and prayers to their forefathers. And what is the seeking? The seeking is, help me to move from this ignorance that I am this body and mind, from there to help me realize my completeness. So first is you're offering your gratitude to your forefathers. So that is the Mahalaya Amavasya. So you begin from there. Then there is Navaratri. During the Navaratri, like you all said, there has to be sincerity in my effort for my own transformation. Like how Ashaji gave us an example, what are the limitations I am experiencing? And how can I drop those limitations? Anger is a limitation. Worry is a limitation. Fear is a limitation. Stress is a limitation. Limit means what? It makes me feel limited. It makes me feel I am small. But the reality is, I am of the nature of the Brahman, infinite. But when can mind contemplate that? Only when the mind is peaceful. And why is the mind agitated? Because of all these Mahishas in me. So Navaratri is a time for my sincere effort for my own transformation. My sincere efforts to listen to the truths given by the great rishis. And how can I bring those transformations within me? That is the true significance of Navaratri. And various aspects of this divinely mother's energy is represented in different forms. Because our rishis wanted to give us the essential knowledge in the simplest possible way. And what better than to give us a form that easily we can relate to and get connected with. And through that, the essential nature is pointed at. Like how we have seen in the story of Ganesha, Ganesha is representation of your awareness. Likewise here, Ma Durga killing Mahisha is a representation of us winning over our own Mahisha qualities. So that picture becomes easily relatable. So from the form, it is easier to move to the formless. And this infinite existence has infinite varieties. So those different aspects are represented through the 9 forms of Devi. Then only the true Vijayadashami. Vijaya. Jaya means victory. Vijaya means Vishishta Jaya. Special kind of victory. What is that special? That I have won over my own limitations. That is the major victory. Not the victory against another person or another thing. That is only a temporary. But the permanent victory is I overcoming my limitation that I am this body and I am this mind. So therefore, Navaratri is a festival of transformation. That this is where I start making sincere efforts for my own transformation. And I seek the blessings of the Divine Mother to help me in this journey. At the end of the day, all that is happening is a grace of the Divine Mother. It is this divine energy that makes everything happen. So I submit to that and I seek that blessings to overcome my own limitations also. So that is why 9 different forms. But summarily, all of that is Jnana Shakti, Ichha Shakti, and Kriya Shakti. So essentially, whatever we need to do in this life is a combination of these 3. And that is why during the Navaratri, it is Maha Durga, Maha Lakshmi, Maha Saraswati. These are the 3 major deities that are offered the prayers and all the pujas and all the worship. What does it signify? That Jnana, Ichha and Kriya is within me, but that has to be awakened. What kind of Jnana? The existential Jnana. Of course, there is the Jnana related to day-to-day life, but the existential Jnana, who am I truly? What is my relationship to this world? How am I and the world related? All this is the existential knowledge, which is given to us by the great rishis. So this Jnana I have to wake up to. Then what is the right Ichha? The right Ichha is, how can I best use this knowledge for the benefit of all? Here, there is also tradition of, during this time, when you offer puja to Lakshmi, you will get all the blessings of Lakshmi, you will get money, power. True, what you start seeking will come. But what is that I should be seeking? The wealth that never diminishes. What is that wealth? The peace within me, the happiness within me, or the ability to be of help to others, kindness, love. These wealth never diminish. The more you give, the more they become. So seek that wealth which never diminishes. Mahalakshmi. Lakshmi is a goddess of wealth. But what wealth? I have to be clear. Then this has to be brought to the world in the right action. It is not only about, I have realized, I know. But what is the use of that in the day-to-day life, in the life around me? So all these things have to come together. So Ma Durga is represented and is the giver of all these 3 Shaktis, the Jnana Shakti, Ichha Shakti, and Kriya Shakti. So through different forms, we invoke that ability within us. And we sincerely make an effort to develop the right Lakshmi qualities. That brings us to the awareness of the completeness. The life is a play of Shiva and Shakti, the consciousness and the movement in the consciousness aspect, the manifest and the unmanifest aspect. So again, Navaratri is to become aware of the movement part of it. And Shivaratri is about the consciousness part of it. And the movement is infinite. That's why many number of days. But consciousness is one. So one day of Shivaratri. So this Purnatva, this totality is what one has to realize in life. So again and again our rishis through different festivals are calling our attention, calling us to become aware of this totality of you, so that your life can be happy, healthy, and peaceful. When can your life be happy, healthy, peaceful? Only when you settle down. Only when you feel at home. And that feeling of at home is not in the situation, is not in, okay, now I moved from first floor to seventh floor. That will never settle you down. One has to settle within. So that settling within and the realization of your own inherent completeness is what Navaratri is truly all about. Is there any question coming to anybody's mind? All right, then let us end this contemplation.